Yeah, here we go.
Dude, that music is legit. That intro. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So day two of cranking up the week. So we're kind of in like our third week of this phase, and a lot of you guys are starting to feel the load of the squats, those challenge squats or the challenge push-ups, starting to feel like you're running a marathon or you're doing some type of load running training, if you will, where those legs are getting tired. And then we've been having a lot of good like workouts now, right? So you guys are getting more accustomed to the house workouts. You guys are getting more accustomed to what you can use and can't use. So we're able to start really ramping up the training again, and it's cool to see it. So again, I'm Maximilian Mormont, Coach Max with Max Fit USA, CrossFit Costa Mesa. We're gonna do these nightly news broadcasts. I'm going to give about like 15, 30 minutes where we'll talk about the day, talk about the program, talk about members on Beyond the Whiteboard, talk about tomorrow's workout, maybe rant a little bit. Today I got some stuff to talk about with the small business bullshit going on. And then we'll end up with some ideas and other thoughts, and then we'll head off to bed and get ready to train tomorrow. All right. My first thing I want to kind of talk to you guys about is something that's really bothering me, right? So I really am being real bothered by this small business, big business bailout, right? We constantly see it. We constantly see the same thing where the banks now that we bailed out years ago are going to have issues now with us. And then same thing with like, you're not the small business. It seems like it's going to kill a lot of small business. Like, we're all that are small business entrepreneurs. And I just wanted to kind of bring this up for one. I mean, we're entrepreneurs and we're at the bottom level or we're in the middle level. We know better. We know they're not going to save us. We know they're not out to help us until we get to the top. And then when you guys make it to the top and when we make it to the top, we got to remember a few things. We got to remember to help out those other entrepreneurs that are in that same spot. So in 10, 20, 30 years from now, we make sure this shit doesn't happen because the American dream needs to live. And I'm not really going to see that in my kids. I'm not really going to see that in myself because of all the bullshit that years and years of all this economy bullshit has been creating. And the one thing that's really cool about this situation that's happening right now is that it's letting a lot of us start talking about this. It's letting a lot of us start thinking about this. And I think something that I remember a lot of, and I still do a lot with my friends, is having roundtable discussions, and being able to put a lot out there. And don't get me wrong, I've lost friends before by having these conversations. And when I do, and a friend gets lost in that conversation, I start to wonder why. We should have been able to talk. We should have been able to move on. We should have been able to be able to understand what we're talking about. Maybe not meet in the middle, not agree, none of that bullshit, but be able to say things that aren't going to offend each other. But there is one common theme, and the little business is not going to get helped. So something like my gym, CrossFit Costa Mesa, online, it would have been real easy for me to abandon my gym and just crank up my online business. On the contrary, I made everybody online just stay. My doors opened, and with all the trend happening right now, it just came flooding through the door. And I actually shut the door and focused on my local community because my local community has always been what actually keeps me in interaction. That's what's the R&D, the real life people. And so nothing against you guys around the world or anything. You guys I've known some of you guys 3, 4, 5 years on emails alone. So I love you guys to death, but family is those I see every day. And that was something that was very, very important to me. And it bugs me that we elect individuals that don't necessarily look at us like family. And I don't know if that ever will change. And I don't even know why I give a shit to talk about it now in a fitness show that we were going to talk about other stuff. But just know that that's how I'm feeling right now. And so if you guys are out there, just be aware. Just be aware of the little people. All right. The other thing I want to talk about. All right. So enough of the small business bullshit. There's a bunch of good stuff on it. Me and Sora have been going crazy on a bunch of other stuff. So it's kind of funny. If you guys look at today's workout, how about the warm-ups, right? I think Jillian made a good point today in the warm-up, said, hey, if you guys are missing out on these warm-ups, you're missing out on a big, big part. Hey, Alma, how are you? Missing out on a big, big part of what we do at CrossFit Costa Mesa. And I'm actually super pumped because one of the biggest things that we do is build that pattern habit, the ability to get that heart rate up, to prepare ourselves for training and also minimize injury. And a lot of us are still continuously doing it well. And now that we're getting into a little further removed from having coach around you or further removed from being in the box environment, remember those warm-ups, remember those times when it was very mundane and you just went through the motion and I'm yelling at you about a scorpion angel and I'm telling you, hey man, put your knuckles, put your elbows, and put your shoulder on the ground, and you see somebody that's like half off and their fucking hand is bending and they're touching their head as they do it. And you're just like, what? You know what I'm talking about, Mike, right? Like, I'm not just making this up, right? I don't just see this, right? I got to go over there and be like, hey, man, now I'll go over there and ask and like not be able to touch you, but okay. That's 21. And then, so this whole situation is now is a time that mundane warm up is so important. So now when everything's chaotic and you don't really feel like doing those type of things, this is where just, hey, get into that habit, go through those motions, get those things going, because it's important just to get the repetitions. It's important just to get it in. They find that most people that are successful can get through most of the shitty workouts more than they get through the better workouts. So that's something you want to be aware of. So don't rush those warm-ups. I really like how our community has really embraced kind of more the live atmosphere. I would like it if you guys would jump on. Giselle, thank you for giving us a lot of love on the Zooms. So you guys jump on those Zooms calls, man. Get on those. They're fun. You got a coach there, someone to yell at you, someone to talk shit to you. You'll just feel at home. You'll feel at home. There's not a lot of people on them, so don't get scared. And most of the time, the people that are on them are the same people that were in your class around that time hour. And that's why we actually brought out 2 of them. We're moving them around morning and night. Nighttime are 7 p.m. Like always, I've always said that they're my social butterflies. I always feel bad for those kids because they're like the kids that basically get to the gym like, oh, fuck it, I made it. And their eyes are closed. They got off of work. And then they got to clean up the gym too. So I've always loved that group. And ever since I've had the kids, I've got to see them less because I wanted to be involved with their bedtime and stuff like that. And that group has always been one that's actually been receptive to it. Not like, oh, damn, Max don't care about us. When they see me, they get excited, they get pumped. And like, it's just unbelievable what those kids do. Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that Zoom call. Yeah, I'm on there. I think tomorrow I might do the evening one, and it's all of us too. So that's the really cool part of it as well. Like you'll see all of our faces because I've been trying to poop on the internet, so you guys always see me, and I'm bugging you, whether you like it or not. I'm still like showing up, but definitely get on those calls. I think you can use them, or like if you're getting confused of like some of the workouts, it's a great time. Just pop in, be like, hey man, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna work out on my own, but what are these exercises? And we'll tell you too. So, and then let's see here. What else did we have today? We had little double unders, triple unders. Anybody try? We'll look at the beyond the whiteboard in a second. It was raining, so imagine some of you guys had to sub down to jacks with the lower ceiling. We had a little argument. Yeah, 6 a.m. rules. Thank you. We had a little argument about whether or not we were going to be able to do jumping jacks inside our garage, and we thought we were going to have to use our double unders. And I was like, no, we'll be fine. And then G was like, no. And I was like, how big are you jumping? And I'm the one that has the big circle. She's really versed at the double under. If you guys ever want to be coached in the jump rope, you are better off asking her than me. I'll be honest about that. I'm not gonna lie. So be aware of that. Be aware of that. I know my role. And then we had the sit-ups. My abs are like my legs, Mikey. They're not recovering.
Oh man, my legs are gone. And we have what? Don't we have like 360 squats tomorrow or something like that?
Well, I mean, don't bring it up. There's no reason to be rude about it. I mean, because at this point, it's like 50 in a clip. So you gotta basically swallow like, and I've been trying to swallow like 50, 60, 40. Like I just chip away 5 or 6 times a day. So I don't do them in one sitting. I know a lot of you guys are still doing them in one sitting.
I do one shot.
Yeah, I enjoy it, like sipping all day long. But I also get the kids involved with it, so it gets them into doing like 5 or 10 squats because they're like squirrels, or Milo's like a squirrel, so it's hard for him to stay focused. So then I can get him going on a couple of them, and then he's out. And I'm like, all right. And then the same thing with the push-ups. So I show him some push-ups, and it just buys us some shit to do. So that's really why the challenges are there. And that actually would kind of bring up our next thing. Let's look at our Beyond the Whiteboard. All right. So
Ooh, Beyond the Whiteboard Smacktalk. That's what I'm calling this.
Yeah. All right. My boy Q. I was giving shout outs yesterday, and now I see my boy Q is like boom, shows up on here. Let's see what we hit. Ooh, some heavy cleans. Okay. I like that. 235, good. Let's give him a fist. No, give him the strength one, the muscles. Do you guys go through here and hit these? Yeah, if you go to that, hit that little live bar at the bottom. Yeah. Do you hit these emojis? Do you give these people emojis? Like I'll sometimes comment, but then nobody ever comments back to when I ask them questions.
You know, there's no negative emoji.
dear, I'll make a note. Dear Beyond the Whiteboard. Beyond the Whiteboard. How do I get a negative emoji? Nothing personal, but it'd be a good time. It'd be real good. It would be real good right now. Yeah. It'd be real good right now. I saw her lifting the other day. Snatch was looking good. A little swing at the top, but it's looking good, looking fast, looking quick, especially outside. Lily, hey man, you go triple unders? You hit those triple unders? If you get double unders, change it. Help me out. I'm gonna give you some hearts. Yep, Kelly.
That was yesterday.
Some hearts.
Ooh, Mary.
And the same thing with the kettlebells. Like, are you guys doing? All right, I see deadlift with the barbell. Yeah, all right, Lily. And then kettlebell, Kelly. If we do uneven, just 2 kettlebells. Curious and curiouser. Dead hang. Yep, I like that. I've been digging the dead hang stuff too with the challenge with after the elbows of 2019. Man, I'm gonna have I'm still working a full day. Yeah, so am I. I'm working a fuller day. Rich, I don't understand. I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm working a fucking fuller day. It's 10:30 and I'm still working. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Wait, let me tone it down now. Brought to you by gummy worms.
Oh, no.
Today's snacks is gummy worms. I'm seriously nervous about the BDs. So yesterday, if you noticed, I had a chocolate bag that was the size of my head, and then today I had something like 5 pounds of gummy worms show up. So I think it was like 5 or 10 of these bags. What is happening around here? And then I got ordered a bunch of chicken. I ordered a bunch of beef jerky. I got to order some meat. Steve, I got to talk to you about my meat order. But I'm like the opposite of the toilet paper and the paper towel hoarder. I'm the snack hoarder. What's happening? Alma, what are you talking? Go back to Alma. She's talking. I mean, get Brian. We'll talk to Brian in a second. Whiteboard always tells me I'm down in levels. Yeah, I mean, you're telling me when I told it I snatched 333 pounds. When I snatch 135, it chuckles at me. At least it doesn't do. That's why I normally don't log. Is because every time I log, Alma, the actual app asks me what's wrong with me. Like, go see medical help. You were once a dragon. Now you are a fly. So it's like it's because of the exercises. So because of the way that the exercises are modified, and then by like using it and like changing it, it sometimes like will rank you. So that's where I'm not really too worried about the dragonfly and all those other like things that it tells you. The big ones when it gives you like feedback is like the individual lifts or like the max rep gymnastics. Those are things you want to look at, and then the average to the norm. So like if you have 50 pull-ups for time and you were in the 80th percentile, and that's really why we stay with Beyond the Whiteboard, is because Beyond the Whiteboard has some of the most data, or has the most data of any program out there that I've seen, and because it's been around for so long. So that's really why I'm into it. But go back to my boy Pothead. Fahid. What was he telling me? Actually, we'll comment back. It's literally here only from social media. What?
It's only it's her only form of social media. She'll comment back on it.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay. I miss her. Surprise. My hall monitor, my 7 p.m. hall monitor. I miss her. So, and then apparently Pothead's my 7 p.m. president, running for student body. I bless his heart, holding classes for me and stuff. I gotta send you checks now. Pothead, I gotta send you checks. I'm into it. I'll Venmo you. Good job, man. I'm glad you kept that 7 p.m. They jumped everybody, and then Wednesday night, everybody was drinking. She was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna jump into the class." The next thing I didn't see her till 11 o'clock. They got me.
She was running a little rough the next morning.
Yeah, they got her. I think she was like sipping the wine below, like it was playing dumb. Have you guys ordered from Drizzly? We'll get into that another time. We'll talk about Drizzly.
All right, Drizzly.
Drizzly, yeah, we'll talk about Drizzly another time. Full-time job, Rich. I gotta. All right, Mary, Francis, yeah. These challenges, guys. I told you that last week. I was like, hey, next week it's gonna be a little bit smoother. I imagine that seeing the number has been harder for you, right? But to complete all the work and the habit that you've created is easier. So I wasn't necessarily lying to you. I know a lot of you guys are like, well, the hell I was really expecting less numbers. But what I was telling you was that it was going to get easier mentally, and then also too physically, to recover from it. So I guess it was kind of.
You said we were going to do less.
Well, I mean,
I have it in a recording.
I don't know if I said you were going to do less. I said that there would be less because you would get it like in the workout, like on Monday. You had that going for you. I don't think you have it going for you tomorrow with the squats. I had to buy the whatchamacallits for to wear socks, and my heels wouldn't crack because my heels were blowing apart. So don't be judging me with my chanclas. I know, Mikey, this is your style, but you like the sock.
I love
tomorrow.
The sock.
Yeah, dude, make sure your heels don't turn into ash. Unless yours don't. Tomorrow we got the chin up. I got to anchor down my rack here. The dumbbell Oh, box step over. Why am I getting screwed on this fucking
You've
box
gotten every box workout.
all week? Does nobody know that I got a bad hip right now? Who's programming this shit? And then and I didn't bolt down my board for I'm gonna have to do piked on the box. Sweet. I got some construction to do. Today was pretty cool. We had a little problem with our PE class, but I've been enjoying those. It's crazy how much you remember like your roots. Like my first actual fitness job was personal training and then soccer coach with high school and then doing PE with high school kids. So it's kind of nice. He's really letting himself go over here. What do you mean? I'm grooming. I'm putting lotion on my feet and my hands. When have you ever heard of that? I'm putting lotion on my feet and my hands. This is getting out of control. Like I've never heard Jillian tell me and be snooping at anything that comes through the door, but literally it's like customs around here. Like and then these assholes delivering are knocking on the door when they drop something off and they're giving me away. And then she's like, "What'd you get now?" And I'm like, "Nothing. Just 5 pounds of gummy worms." Is that okay? I mean, is that letting me go? Anybody else ordering a bunch of junk food? I saw Wes was getting a lot of baked goods.
Oh man, that's the life right there.
I mean, Jillian cooked the brownie last night, and I had to like stay away from it. But we're all training well, right? So I guess that would kind of bring me to my next segment, and kind of really why, even with all this bullshit, I've been really excited about giving you guys more and getting more involved, and then keeping you guys exercising, because even though you're working a full job, right, Rich, or you guys are still working from home. Most of our community is working from home. We're blessed. As a whole, it seems like a lot of us were very sheltered and able to actually complete our job from home. So it's cool to see that. But the reality of it is, whether you're able to work from home or not, you have more time. So you have more time. It's not an extra time that you're going to be you can try your side hustle. You can try an online hustle. You can try doing other things. But the reality of it is that being at home now, you have a consistent schedule. And what I mean by that is that you're not away from home. You're not away from your gym. You're right there with your gym. So you have an opportunity that a lot of you guys have never had. So imagine that Max is 21, 22 years old, and I'm talking in third person. And I decide that I'm a bad kid, and I decide not to be a bad kid anymore. And we're not going to get into the bullshit of what I was doing when I was bad. But I'm a bad kid, and suddenly I decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to get involved with this Olympic weightlifting because I found a guy, Skip Benzing. Hey, brother, my first coach, love you. This guy asked me, hey, man, I'm writing a senior dissertation on Olympic weightlifting, and would you be interested? And at the time, you got to understand that I was doing bodybuilding. And the reason why I was doing bodybuilding, it was the only thing that could facilitate me training multiple times a day, making money from it. So moving back from that was soccer. I was a soccer player in high school. And then I was a soccer player in college, and nobody really wanted to give me an opportunity. And I walked on, and then my program got cut. We got Title IX, and then I was bitter about it. And so I tried to play professional soccer. I wasn't at that level. And so, or I wasn't ready to be at that level. So I got cut a lot. I traveled a lot, and I wasted a lot of my own money. And in that process, I started realizing that what I wanted was still to train multiple times a day. I wanted to still reach some type of genetic potential. And so I started looking more and more into this thing. And then I started doing bodybuilding, and then I got my pro card. And then from there, I got into realizing that I wasn't actually fit. I was aesthetically fit. I learned the sport of dieting, but I never really learned how to actually become an athlete again. I've lost that athleticism. I had all aestheticism. And so my goal became to become an athlete. And then luckily I found this kid, Skip Benzing, And Skip tells me, hey, I'm writing this senior dissertation on Olympic weightlifting. Would you be interested in helping me out? You can be my test subject. We'll do some lifting and we'll take you through this manual. And then also, too, since you're into this stuff, why don't you do some of the research for me or just look some shit up? And I still have some of the manuals. He let me keep some of them, or I kept them. So if you want them back, brother, you can have them. But but in this process, I realized that I wanted to train, and I still worked. I worked full time. I mean, I ran 24-hour fitness. I ran Equinox. I was a regional manager for 24. I did all kinds of stuff. And one thing, I even helped out other gyms at Equinox. So one thing that I do know is that I needed to facilitate the ability to work, train, work, train, work, train. I've never been one of the kids that liked to just train and not have a job. I liked the ability to interact with people or to have a task or to develop a skill. So that's really why I always liked to work. So a lot of you guys don't realize that I I got to a point where I was eating so much money that I was paying my mortgage in what I was eating. So I had to decide what to do. And I had to go back to my parents and I had to ask them, "Hey man, I know I was a dumb kid and you had to bail me out of jail with my own money from a shoebox underneath my bed. But what I need from you now is I need to move into your back house because I want to actually like try to make the Olympics. I want to try to actually lift competitively. I want to develop my body like I would never be able to if I just get 4, 8, maybe 12 years." And I don't really know a lot of people that have that opportunity. And mind you, I'm 45 years old and I'm lucky that the whole time I was working, I was still developing a skill and I'm very good at what I do, but I'm also very behind. I'm very behind. I'm very behind in the sense that if I would have been just coaching since I was 20, then I would have had a little bit more, a little bit more. But what I did was every 2 years, I would stop working and then only train full time. And then I would work full time, train full time for 2 years, and just deplete all my savings. So there was an ability there that a lot of you guys don't see that. You guys don't see that opportunity. A lot of you guys either have been supported through stipends or you've been supported through other things where maybe those are gone now. And now you actually have to work. And maybe at the same time, you now develop a skill and then you still get to train. And it's something that nobody can ever take that away from you. And again, right now in this chaos, yeah, I don't have the big savings. I don't have the nicest car. Shit, I got a broken window right now in the back of my car. But you know what I do have? I got one hell of a fucking community that's lifting around California in Costa Mesa. I got an amazing group of kids, about 150 throughout the world, following what we're doing. And then, you know, what we're doing as a whole right now with Costa Mesa and AxFit, there's nothing like what we're putting out. Nothing like we're putting the kids, Mike, Jillian, Christian, Wes, Steven, Andy, you know, the law, all these kids. It's just amazing to see these group of guys. You know, I don't really know a group of guys that would step up like they're doing. No questions asked. They didn't ask me if I was going to pay them on the 15th. They didn't ask me anything about, hey man, is there a way that I could get paid or anything like that? They didn't. I guess they're because they know I'll feed them first. But they also were willing to just jump into these Zoom calls. Like, what do? We want more. We miss everybody. And so just take this time to really like center yourself around your family, be patient with them. Because I know the first week I wasn't patient. I wasn't patient with Jillian. I wasn't patient with Milo. And I still get very aggravated. You know, I'm you know me. You know me. And I don't have anybody to get fired up about. So love the people around you. I love you guys. I thank you guys for tuning in and paying attention to what we're doing. So thank you guys. Have a good night. Thanks, Mikey. I gotta do fucking box step ups again. Step overs.